welcome back to another episode of A Magic You. My name is Yulisa and I am your host for this podcast. If you are new here, welcome. If you are not new here, welcome back. I'm going to be very honest and let you guys know I'm not 100% sure where this episode is going to lead. I say that because this past week has been a hell of a week for us. Jumping into some life updates and hoping that will spark today's episode. If you have been listening to the past few episodes released since January, then you might be aware that my baby, my sphynx Luna, has been going through a very rough time with her tail. It all started with a burn from her sitting on our furnace. Again, our pipes are covered, but somehow she managed to get a tiny bit on the tip of her tail. And then from there, she just would not let it heal. She was licking the crap out of the burn, not leaving it alone. If we tried to wrap it, she would take it off with her nails, and we would leave her at home with like a camera. She was in the guest bedroom with like food, water, her litter box, the whole nine, an e-collar, the cones around her neck. The vet had mentioned back in February that if us trying to treat it didn't work, then amputation was going to have to be the next option. Now, when he mentioned this, my eyes got real big because I'm like, what do you mean? Like, it really wasn't that big of an injury, but it wasn't so much the injury itself that wasn't healing, because it was her self-inflicting these wounds that were awful. And I'm talking like digging into her cuts, like shredding her tail up. We tried so hard. We finally thought that we had a routine going of like wrapping the tail during the day, letting it air out at night. I've been sleeping in the guest bedroom with her. I haven't even been sleeping in my own room with Ty upstairs for the past 4 months, on top of all of these changes. And I'm getting so emotional right now, and probably because I'm so freaking sleep deprived. Long story is that on Wednesday, she did get her tail amputated, and she's laying here with me and she's fine. I'm not trying to scare anyone, but it's been such a hard journey. We have really tried our best in the last 4 months to heal it, help her, try to distract her from attacking her tail. We've got to the point where we had to start taking her to work every single day. Like, she has not been left alone because we can't. If we would leave her alone, she would somehow manage to hurt herself. So we actually scheduled this appointment for May 6th after she got to her tail in a split second, and we didn't think it was bad. Ty was at work. He had to rewrap it real quick because she had to stay in her little area that he had made her. So that night when we unwrapped the bandage, I saw it was back to the muscle, and almost all of our progress of healing was gone within a split second. So that was Sunday night. Monday morning, I called first thing in the morning. I let them know what had happened and that we were ready to go forward with the tail amputation because we were at our last resort. And of course, just like anyone would want, they would do anything for their babies or pet babies, human babies. You don't want your loved ones to go through any pain. I was asking if they had anything open that Wednesday since their surgery days were Wednesdays. They said no, the following Wednesday on May 6th was going to have to be, the soonest they can get her in. I said, okay, it is what it is. Let's schedule her. And, if there was anything open, please let me know. I think that day or the day after, that Tuesday, I had gone to pick up more medicine for her. And I even asked the girl that was checking me out for the medicine. I said, do you think that there's going to be a cancellation? And she's like, I don't know. I wouldn't hold your breath because surgery days are, there's not many cancellations like there would be regular appointments. Got it. Well, would you know that night I got a call that there had been an opening if I wanted to bump Luna up? Absolutely. Not that I wanted to get her tail chopped off sooner, but the thought of prolonging this anymore just killed me. And I was ready to start this healing. I was ready for her to start healing and to just get going. So Wednesday came and I dropped her off really early in the morning. filled out the paperwork that asks, if your pet passes on the table, would you like them to be resuscitated, and all these other things, financially, if there's anything else, like you're going to cover it. And I guess I'm just explaining this because if you've never had to go through this, or I don't know, just really explaining everything that I can, better for me to remember. So my stomach was already in a knot. I did have to drop her off on my own, and not only was like that Wednesday just crazy with dropping her off and working, we also had pictures. So I dropped her off, and they said I should get a call around like 10 or 11 from the doctor just to kind of go over everything. They had to do an EKG on her because unfortunately she does have a pretty severe heart murmur and an enlarged right atrium, I believe they said. So they had to do just more precautions with anesthesia and putting her under. So they let me know everything before I left, and I headed out to the tobacco store and the laundromat because we actually had pictures taken at the laundromat from a friend of mine that I met at a Delaware Awards show. Her name is Ashley Emerson, and she's a photographer. So if you are around the area looking for a wedding photographer, I want to say she specializes in wedding, but she's great. She's so sweet, and she wanted to take our pictures for the laundromat. It did cheer me up being able to take the photos that early. It was about 9 o'clock when we met up, and it kind of got my mind away from Luna for a little bit, at least before I had to go to work. So immediately after pictures, I headed straight to work, and I worked all day up until about 5:30, and I had to peel out of work to go get her. Well, I never received a call. I called them around 3 o'clock, and I'm not trying to bash the vet. I'm not even going to say where. I love their vet. Like all three of our babies, they all go there. They're very sweet and kind, and I understand that they were slammed with like other patients and a busy day. I get it. But I called in around 3. They said Luna was doing fine. She still hadn't been seen. The doctor was going to call me like as soon as he was done with like a dental operation that he was working on, and I'd hear back. Got it. So they did tell me that pickup time was going to be between 4 and 6, and that if we needed to arrange something, that was no problem. Well, 5:30 came around, and I'm thinking I gotta leave work because if I miss picking her up, I'm not gonna leave her there overnight, So I show up, and the girl comes out. She's like, let me see what's going on. There's nothing as far as payment or pickup time. Let me see what's going on. So she goes back inside. She comes back out because you're like not supposed to really like leave your car. They kind of come out and get you. But she said Luna still hadn't been seen because there had been a lot of things that came up with other patients and other procedures. So she was unfortunately just the last patient of the day, but that they would call me and let me know when pickup time was, and the doctor still wanted to talk to me. Okay, so it's now 5:45 p.m. I'm on my way home. I go to the store since it was like on my way back home, and I'm waiting for Ty to get off work. We're figuring out dinner. We are still waiting on updates from Luna. She hadn't had her surgery yet, so we decide on getting some Rail House for dinner, and we head home to get the other babies like Penny and Jasper their food and walked and all that jazz. We finally get the call around, I want to say 6:45 or 7, that Luna was going to have her operation next, that everything was fine. They were just extremely backed up, and basically asking if we had discussed how far down they were going to take. Well, back in February, the doctor did mention about how smart she is and how if she finds a way to get to her tail, she is going to continue to hurt herself, and this process is never going to end. So he recommended taking up to 2 joints left on her tail, which is basically everything. And again, when he told me that, I was shocked. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, it was really at the tip of her tail, maybe 3 or 4 inches down, and homegirl had probably a 14-inch tail. Like, she had a long tail. So, like, I didn't understand at first why until I realized how seeing her get to her tail anyway, whether it be putting it between her legs to sit on it and claw on it, to pinning it up against the cone to scratch at it and like shred it up, I then understood like why he had said like, no, we're gonna have to take the whole tail. So we ate dinner and it was time to pick her up around 7:45, 8 o'clock at night. We headed back to the vet. We picked her up. She was very, very alert, which was very surprising to me. They had her in a little diaper. She was moving around because she absolutely hated the diaper. Not only that, she was like all drugged up on anesthesia and all these other medications from the surgery. And it scared the crap out of me seeing how active she was, like doing barrel rolls, because I'm thinking, oh my God, like doesn't that hurt her? She's gonna hurt herself even more. So I got her out of her crate and I wrapped her up in a blanket and I held her as best as I could, and I'm trying to stay calm. Ty did have a request to keep the tail if possible, and before you guys think that we are weirdos, we have a lot of oddities around our house, whether that be like beetles and butterflies or scorpions like framed in like frames and flowers and things like that. And the thought of having a tail was very interesting. Not that I want it with skin and fur and all the jazz, but I don't know what we're going to do with it. They did let us keep it. They had it in a bag. I did not want to see it. I told Ty he can put it in the freezer and he will be the one in charge of it. The girl definitely looked at me like I was crazy. Not just me, but Ty as well. Like, the tail is in the bag. And it's hard to explain when, like, you don't get it. But if you've been on my house, it's not like we have a bunch of weird, like, not everything is in a jar. We have one dead snake in a jar that we found. But, like, it's nothing crazy. And if we ended up not using it, like, we'd just toss it, But I did want to put it in here that we were able to keep the tail that was amputated. I'll have to get back to you guys on what exactly we do with it because it's been the last thing on my mind within the past few days. Back to the story though. So that was Wednesday night. So it's about 8:30. We get home and we are in her little quarantine area room trying to figure out like what are we doing, and all the medications and stuff we were going to have to give her. It was really just a few, nothing new that we weren't already giving her. The hardest part was keeping her still because she was cracked out, guys. We were trying our best to keep her from jumping on and off the bed. We do have like a pretty big box by the bed to kind of like a step down from like the big jump, but she was just pacing. We didn't know what was going on and she didn't sleep. So both Ty and I were up and like spurts of like naps here and there if he let me sleep, but then if I'm still in the room and I can feel him moving trying to get her from jumping, and she's like in the litter box, not really using it, tipping her food over and water. Like it was just a mess that night. So then comes Thursday morning. She hadn't slept all night and really neither had either one of us. Thankfully, we are off on Thursdays. Ty did have to go to the laundromat to fix a couple machines, so I stayed home with her. She was awake, she was alert, I gave her meds. I was just trying to feed her as much as possible too because she wasn't really wanting to drink any water, was not wanting any of her dry food. So I was like getting some wet foods and gravies and whatnot, just trying to keep her comfortable and fed. We had to run some errands, and I'm very lucky that all of my animals are great in the car. Like they don't start freaking out because they are just so used to car rides. So of course we brought her along with, and I just waited in the car. If Ty went into the store or vice versa, he would wait with her if I went into the store, and she just kind of sat on the center console just hanging out. Come Thursday night, Ty stayed up till about midnight, or I don't remember if it was like 3 a.m, trying to watch her while I tried to get some sleep. But again, I should have went upstairs, but I didn't. I laid right next to them and I was like eyes opening, eyes closing, eyes opening, eyes closing, like just a really crappy time. So then when it was time for him to go upstairs to get rest because he had to work the next day, it was my turn to watch her. And the medication that they gave her for the surgery, I had no idea was going to last 3 days, you guys. 3 days of her staying awake. So she stayed awake all the night Wednesday night, all throughout Thursday, all the night Thursday night, all of Friday, and I am now recording this on Saturday, May 2nd. She finally took a nap at 6 a.m. for about an hour, and I just gave her some more meds, and she is sleeping next to me for the first time in about 3 days. I have never been so sleep deprived in my entire life. Like, I swear, I don't think I have. And it's not even just laying there awake. It's like having to jump out of bed to get her from, jumping, or, she's bumping everything with her cone on her head. And Ty says that she emotionally manipulates me because she will like bang the cone around, acting like she can't use or do anything just for me to take it off of her. And if I do take it off her, I am like right next to her, making sure she's not going to go after her nub now. And I will say I have a little PTSD from her, like, if she were to, like, turn, because before when she would turn, she would see her tail and then just, like, go for it. So now anytime she turns, I'm like, but I'm trying to remember, like, she has to basically, like, curl up into a ball before she can reach her nub. It seems like she has forgotten about her tail. Like, being very honest, she hasn't like gone in circles looking for it. She's just been doing her little thing. The pacing, I'm excited will be done tonight, and hopefully we can get some rest. She doesn't want to be left alone, and I don't blame her. So she has been everywhere with me. Even when I'm showering, she's right there in the bathroom, like right next to a little space heater. So these past few days have been so hard, and oh my gosh, just like the past few months, it's been crazy. How is it May? First of all, happy May. Did I even say that yet to begin this episode? Because you guys know I'm always like, oh my gosh, like, how is it, this time of the month? But how is it May? I feel like this whole year I have been laying low in the best way, really focusing on just trying to find routine and all the new and trying to keep my head sane. But this other extension of, worry and the situation that we were with Luna's tail, it was so heavy, it was so difficult. So I am so ready to put it behind us so we can move forward into summer and the rest of the year. Last week I was awake from Plur and it was fine, but I had no idea that these 2 weeks, the last 2 weeks in April, were going to be the most sleep deprived I have ever been in my life. And going into this new month, I am ready to rest. I'm ready to reset before things pick up, because they're always going to pick up. There's a lot of things that we're looking forward to. We'll be having a dance party at one of the businesses this month. So check out for FOMO. And if you don't know what that is, it's where I've been going to the secret dance parties. And I guess it's not so secret, but really, if you're listening to this, you so deserve to know that it would be hosted by us in one of our awesome spaces. And I'm excited for that in the next week or two. I will be going to visit my best friend Pam in South Carolina, and I already have that trip booked out for Memorial Day weekend. I'm super stoked, and once again, just happy that I won't have to have the thought of Luna, hopefully, in the back of my mind with leaving her and Ty and Penny and Jasper. Like, it's hard for me to leave when we are each other's support system, but at the same time, I know that I need to do these little trips to see my friends and family, to get away and reset my mind, as well as get inspiration for things, or I will fall into such a depression. And I can't better myself. I can't pour into his cup and help him do all the things he does if I myself am not well. We work our asses off, extremely. We work all the time. So anytime I can step away, if he's okay with it and we figure out everything, then I try to. So anyway, I'm gonna see Pam, and then I have a trip already booked in June to see my sister and my cousins. It's a cousins trip that I'm really excited for. And then I'm hosting an Ink and Intuition event at the studio. And just so many things coming up so quickly. I had read somewhere that this month was for rest and reset, and really finding where you wanted the rest of the year to go, as well as just putting your energy towards things that make you happy. Now, of course, shouldn't we be doing that all the time? Of course, but that doesn't always necessarily happen. It did really sit with me though, and that's something I have been thinking about, is how I want to spend this month and the rest of the year. Oh, big stretch, my queen. Oh my goodness, sorry guys, she just took a real big stretch. Her eyes are open. But really being intentional with your time, your energy, and where you are spending it, where are you putting your energy to and towards, and who are you allowing in your bubble? And that's probably the biggest thing that sat with me, because I have been okay with being alone. I honestly have told Ty I want to be left alone, and like to a certain extent, like my friends, I have them here, but they know how slammed we are, and I'm so thankful that they don't, I don't know, they're not mad at me if I can't hang out, because we are so fucking busy. And I'm so sorry to curse about it, but like, I thought I was busy before, and that was a freaking joke. Like, no lie, every minute is managed at this point, and I wish I had time to go through photos in my phone to post and to edit and vlog anymore. And I would love to set the time aside, and I'm praying and hoping that after we heal this tail, life can go back to normal, and it can just be a lot better. Not saying it hasn't been, but there has been so much weight on this year with everything going on. When I've gone to my Reiki sessions, she has told me that I have been in such a mother mode. For someone that doesn't have kids, that is like also big, because like I feel it, businesses are babies on top of our little fur babies, that I feel like I have been spread so thin. So when I have been saying I've been wanting to be left alone, it's not because I don't want to see people, it's because I miss me. And I say that for you guys to also know that it is okay to want to spend time with yourself. It is okay to need to step back, to have a little bit of solitude, to fill your cup. Although the situation of why I've been needing to be in the guest bedroom with Luna and spend so much time with her, tending to her, although it isn't ideal and it has never been something I would wish on anyone, I realize that the years are going by so quickly. And she's my little firstborn little fur baby, and the years are flying, and I'm seeing her age spots. And I'm really actually so thankful that I have been able to spend so much time with her this year, because I missed her. I missed me. I missed just being home. And realizing how big that is for me lets me know how significant and how big of a part I need to make that in my life. Aside from the busy, I have to make time for my little babies and to sit and rest. And I'm ready for that. Thank you guys for listening to me ramble and cry this episode. It has been a very, very long couple days and weeks, and just a long April, and it's May now, and happy May Day yesterday. There was fireworks going off, and well, I guess when this comes out it will be a couple days after, but there was fireworks going off, and yeah, I'm excited for what the rest of the year will bring. And I'm excited for all the growth and just all the beautiful blossoming that we're all going to do. I guess this whole episode was really just a life update on what we've been dealing with, and my little queen here, Luna, who truly is my queen. She tells me what to do, and I have her in the cutest little leopard print onesie. And I'm excited for her tail to heal, because she is just going to be the cutest little bobcat now. My little sphynx bobcat. Oh my God, I love her so much. You really don't understand how much you can love a little animal or like anything, right? Until it's yours and you have to take care of it, and you just love it so much, But that brings me to the end of this episode. I want to thank you guys again for listening. I don't know if there's anything in here, if this was just a filler episode for you to listen to on your drive or your way to work or whatever, your walk. But if you have little loved ones, whether that be fur babies or human babies, hug them tight, keep them close, tell your friends and family how much you love them. I know that we don't tell each other enough, and that's one thing that I love to do, is let my friends know how much they really mean to me, even if it's random. If you're thinking about someone, send them a message. Life is so short to hold on to words that others may need to hear, because you never know when someone might need to hear what it is that you have to say to them or the feelings that you hold for them. I am going to try and take a nap before I head to my friend's birthday party. And I'm wishing you guys a beautiful week, a beautiful day, a beautiful life, a beautiful month. It's May, it's a fresh start, and it's time for us to glow. So if you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review. And I don't really know if you'd want to send this to anyone. If you have a cat or a dog going through similar issues of self-inflicting wounds, please go see your vet before it is too late or before they hurt themselves more. I wish you all the best, and if you guys have any questions about the tail amputation, now that I've gone through the process, it was extremely hard for me to find anyone with insight, and I think I'm going to make some videos on it because I wish I would have known, a little bit more, like that she was going to be awake for 3 days straight. But here we are. All right, guys, I love you, and I'm wishing you all the best. Okay.